All right, let us begin. Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's webinar of Solarity in collaboration with our partner, SolaX Power. We shall be discussing the new fourth generation of the energy storage system and the EV charger. Of course, as mentioned earlier, it shall be simultaneously interpreted into Czech and Hungarian. My name is Tanko Borisov, responsible for international sales here at Solarity, and I'm very passionate about customer success. Born in Bulgaria, nonetheless, I grew up in South Africa. With me today is Mr. Rudolf Schell, our main speaker for the event. He is the technical service manager at SolaX. So welcome, Rudolf. Also, with me, my colleagues, Christoph, yes, Christoph and Nicola. So Christoph shall be translating into Hungarian and Nicola into Czech language. Just one information for you, the channels within the Zoom application for the Hungarian language is called Chinese, and for the Czech, Russian. That is for a simple reason of a minor technical difficulty. Nonetheless, I do believe it's just a minor matter. So before we begin, everybody, I'm interested to know where are each of you from. I will start a quick poll or a survey. In a few seconds, you should be able to see the questions popping up. Right. So we have Hungary, Czech Republic, and others. Others, I mean, the whole of Europe, or I would say maybe Middle East even. Let's see. We have 21 people voting and approximately 6 left. Let's give it a few more seconds. Okay, I think that's perfect. So as you can see, the results are, we have 9 people from the Czech Republic, 8 from Hungary, and the rest is from other countries. That's beautiful. Excellent. All right. So today, a quick information, we will be discussing 4 key points. First of all, I shall, for those of you who don't know Solarity yet, of course, it's important to know a brief introduction about Solarity. Then I will hand over the word to our main speaker, as mentioned, Mr. Rudolf from SolaX. And in the end, we will have a Q&A session. So this will be the place where we can answer your questions. You can post your questions within the Q&A section of the Zoom. Just please do not use the chat, because we won't have the capacity to go through all the questions during the presentation. So please use the Q&A window. Thank you. So proceeding, one very simple question. Who is Solarity, right? Very simply put, Solarity is one of the biggest value-added distributors within the central and eastern regions of Europe. We started business approximately 10 years ago. And what's interesting about this is, I think it's interesting, definitely, we started as an EPC. So this being said, we understand your business, and that's very important for me as being part of the business unit. After gaining lots of experience, we decided to shift into a distribution go-to-market strategy. So by now, we're already recognized as international distributor. Recent information, newsflash, we opened a office in Dubai, also in Warsaw, and opening also in Casablanca. So definitely growing. I think this is quite interesting for our business partners. Active in more than 30 countries, lots of colleagues from all over the world. And the most recent results is 250 megawatts shipped out per year. What's also interesting is that, very simply said, Solarity is the link between big manufacturers and system integrators. So this being said, I believe you will have more time to focus on your business on the EPC side, and we can take care of the rest. And this is how we bring value to our customers. I prepared 6 key points here. Let's go through them just very briefly. First of all, technical know-how. Of course, we have built quite a lot of know-how for the past years. We do offer, for example, we have trained approximately 3,000 professionals each year. Also, financing. Now, because we understand that the solar business, the solar sector, is a very cash-intense area to do business. So we can help you with various financial services. The third part is quite interesting. It's a partner program, and one of the reasons why I am also in Solarity is we can offer long-term cooperation. And within this partner program, there are options of special conditions, long-term cooperation, and so forth. Point number 4, local support. So we speak your language. I'm from Bulgaria. I speak also Czech. Christoph is Hungarian. Nikolai is Serbian. Also speaking Czech, so that's beautiful for business, right? Okay, training, that's a must. That's something which is, I would say, natural. Finally, logistics. Logistics, this means that we can save the lead time because we are able to ship stock wherever you need, directly on the commissioning site, for example. And this is how we provide value as a value-added distributor on the various markets. So our main warehouse is located in the heart of Europe, in the Czech Republic. We have a couple of more warehouses. I would say this allows us to respond to market needs quite flexibly. With over 5 megawatts available in our warehouses. Of course, this number is growing each year to meet the demand. We have more than 60, 70 employees ready to support your business endeavors. And until now, we have already shipped out more than 150 megawatts. Now, this is something important for EPC, quality. From my business perspective, when you buy products from Solarity, you also purchase a 20, 30-year relationship, thanks to the quality of our products and services. So this being said, before we initiate cooperation with the manufacturer, there's a very long process. And as you can see here, we have tier 1 manufacturers, internationally recognized. Of course, today we are in collaboration of this webinar with SolaX. And the sectors we cover are basically all the PV sectors of residential and commercial. 50% of the business is basically residential. The rest is big commercial EPC projects. And we can cover anything from 350, 350 kilowatts is a typical project we have. Also shifting to the commercial side, we have much bigger projects in megawatts, for sure. That being said, we are able to, simply said, supply the full project scope. Since the demand of the projects is getting more and more intense from a technological standpoint, we meet that requirement by being able to provide you with all the needed technology based on your project. One last poll at the end of my presentation. And that is, please let us know, what is your experience with SolaX Power? I'm sure everybody can see the questions here. The numbers are going up very quickly. That's very nice. So later, Rudolf can emphasize on the results. We still have a couple of more people voting, but we're almost finished. Right. So as you can see, approximately 24 people have no experience with SolaX. So this is a perfect opportunity to get familiar with the technical solutions Mr. Rudolf can offer us. The remaining 16% and 9% belongs to people who have already purchased products or purchase products regularly. So that's interesting. Thank you very much. And from my side, that would be all. I will now hand over the word to our main speaker, Mr. Rudolf Schell. Thank you.
Okay, good morning to everybody. And thank you, Zanko, for your introduction on Solarity. Now I will switch to my screen. Give me just a second, please. Then I will open my presentation for you. Okay, I think now you can see my screen and my presentation. Do you see it in full screen? Zanko, can you answer this question?
Yes, we can see everything properly. Yeah, perfect.
Thank you. Okay, yeah, welcome everybody to this webinar today. My name is Rudolf, and as Zanko already mentioned, I'm a service manager of SolaX Germany. I'm also located in our office in Germany, and from here we are supporting some European countries. And yeah, this is also the reason why today we will like to give you a webinar, especially for our customers in Hungary and Czech Republic. Today I would like to introduce you our new hybrid inverter system together with our new battery. And due to the information of the last poll of Zanko, that I think it was 75% of the people never came in touch with SolaX products. I think then that's a very good thing today, that you will get some information about our company and about our product portfolio. So we mainly focus on our hybrid system today. But as you can see here from this overview, I will also introduce you to our company, where we are from, and what we are doing. And after this short introduction, I will give you an overview about our PV inverter portfolio. But this is really just a quick overview, because I think PV inverters are already a common thing for you all. And also our PV inverters, they have a very big range, but in the end, they are normal PV inverters. And then later we come to the more interesting part. This will be our hybrid inverter portfolio, and together with our battery portfolio, because we are also producing our own battery. And then in the last part of today, this will also be the main part. I will introduce you in our new hybrid inverter system. And then in the end, we can also make a question and answer round where we will take the time to answer all of your questions. Okay, then let's start with the overview and a little bit of history of SolaX Power. SolaX Power was founded in the year 2012 as a PV inverter manufacturer, but since then, SolaX was always a technical driven company, and this is why we directly started to develop our hybrid inverter. And this hybrid inverter was the first hybrid inverter from a Chinese or Asian company coming to the market. And today we are already in the 4th generation. And as you can directly see, SolaX already has a very long experience in the field of hybrid inverters. Most of our employees are, of course, in China, in different departments. Of course, we have a lot of people in production, but also in the research and development department. And meanwhile, we are selling our products to more than 120 countries. So they are internationally known and famous in many, many countries already. We also have very big production capacity, and all SolaX Power products are manufactured and engineered and developed by our own technical teams of different departments, and of course are manufactured in our own factories. In the history of SolaX Power, there have been many more different milestones. I will just only mention a few, the most important ones. Of course, in 2012, it was the founding of the company, and we directly started to open new offices all around the world. We started in Australia and in Europe. We opened our office in United Kingdom, and we directly had a lot of success with our first generation of hybrid inverters. And through the years, we were developing this technology further until the point we are today. And one important milestone also for this presentation today is the development of our own battery. Before, we were using battery brands of other battery manufacturers like LG or Pylontech, but since 2018 we are focusing on the development and production of our own battery. For us, it was just a logical step to have an own battery, because only with our own battery we can really guarantee that we always have 100% compatibility between inverter and also a battery. This is very important. Throughout the years, we are founding new offices. Our main office in Europe now is in the Netherlands. This is also where we have our warehouse and logistics center. And then back in 2019, we opened an office in Germany. This is where I'm working now. In our German office, it's near the area of Frankfurt. And throughout today, we also have some people in other countries, not offices, but SolaX employees, for example, in Poland, Italy, and also some other European countries. There we also have employees there at the moment. Here we have an overview about our R&D bases. We are mainly based in China, but in China we have different locations for different departments, but our main headquarter is located in Hangzhou. On this page, you just get an overview about our, let's say, sub-headquarters. They are also on nearly every continent in the world, so that we can also serve, local companies in nearly, every part in the world. Okay, I think for now that's all regarding the introduction of SolaX. I don't want to spend too much time on the introduction of our company. I think the more interesting part are the products, and this is why I directly go to the next part of this presentation. This is an overview about our normal PV inverters. So basically, SolaX started as a provider of residential PV inverters. In this segment, we are very strong, and our PV inverters in this segment are, very famous for quality. We are very price efficient, of course. This is also a very good point, a very good advantage of our products. And as you can see, we have different power classes. And for each power class, we define the product name. Basically, we can separate it in X1 series and X3 series. And this is just a description about single-phase inverters and three-phase inverters. So you can directly say or see this inverter is single-phase, the other inverter is three-phase. And below the name, like X1 Mini, for example, then we have the output power of the inverter. And as you can see, we start at 0.6 kilowatt of AC output power and go up to, meanwhile, more than 150 kilowatt inverters for bigger commercial and industrial projects. So we are not only providing PV inverters for residential systems anymore. And as you can see, if you decide to go for SolaX products, you really have always the right product for each system size. Okay, I think for today or for this presentation, it's all about our PV inverters. There's nothing, let's say, more to mention. I don't want to go too deep into technical details because I think this is pretty clear product, normal PV inverters. So this is why we directly go to the more interesting part of today's presentation. As mentioned before, we started very early developing our own hybrid inverters. And a hybrid inverter combines both. It combines a PV inverter, but also combines a battery inverter all in one device. And therefore, we are still selling our Generation 3 hybrid inverters. And this is the overview of the current product portfolio in the field of battery storage systems. Of course, again, we have single-phase and three-phase hybrid inverters. Basically, they nearly have the same functions. Of course, the single-phase inverters are less powerful. They are only available from 3 to maximum 5 kilowatt of AC output power. And then the three-phase inverters will be available from 5 to 10 kilowatt. One big advantage with the SolaX hybrid inverters are that these inverters are the most powerful hybrid inverters in the market. Every inverter includes also an EPS function for emergency power supply. For example, that in case of backup, in case of a blackout, the inverter will provide backup power to the house. And also this backup power is not limited. It's only limited by the AC output power class of the inverter. And this is also one feature what makes our technical parameters of our hybrid inverters so strong. And you will not find other products with these high rated technical specifications. And with this generation, with the Generation 3, it was very successful in several countries who are mainly focusing on battery installations. For example, like in Germany or Austria, where nearly every new installed system is already a hybrid inverter system with batteries. And therefore we can really compete with famous brands like Fronius, Costal, SMA or Kako. For a lot of installers here in Germany, Austria, we are already the #1 choice for them because of the price efficient and high quality products. And another highlight and a pretty unique feature was having an own battery. Of course, meanwhile, there are also some competitors who have developed an own battery, but also here in this field, SolaX was the first one, and this is why we are still, let's say, ahead of our competitors with our own developed triple power batteries. So triple power is our battery brand. It's also manufactured by SolaX. With this battery brand, which is only compatible with our inverters, we created a system which can be viewed as, let's say, all in one system. You get everything out of one hand, and this gives you several advantages. The biggest advantage, of course, is the compatibility. There will never be any compatibility problem between battery and inverter because we develop always both in parallel. Inverter software, battery software, all is in our hands, and this is why we can really guarantee that with SolaX Power and triple power batteries, you have a very good team which is really working good in practical, and of course in case of any issues, in case of any service, you only need to call let's say SolaX Power as the manufacturer of all the products. There's no arguing between battery manufacturer or inverter manufacturer who's responsible for this problem. And of course, when it comes to special customer services like updates, online updates or remote settings, of course we can do both. Updates for inverters, updates for batteries. So everything can be done through our monitoring system, SolaX Cloud. Okay, now I think you have a pretty good overview about our current hybrid inverter systems and our current battery models. Now I would like to introduce you our Generation 4 system. And on the next slide, you can directly get an impression of the appearance of this system. Our Generation 4 system is designed, or the idea behind this Generation 4 is to have an all-in-one solution, or a better all-in-one solution, where the inverter, battery, and together with the matebox creates or can be seen as one device. So here we don't see cabling. Of course, in practical, there's still some cabling left, AC cable to the house, for example, but all the cables between inverter, matebox, and battery are hidden so that we can really create a unique surface without any lack of any cables. And of course, this all-in-one solution consists of several components. I will introduce you them now. So also in this Generation 4 system, we have single-phase inverters and of course three-phase inverters. For three-phase inverters, we also have now bigger AC power classes. We go up to 15 kilowatt, so that you can really create bigger residential systems with our inverters. And for this Generation 4, we only also publish a new battery. This is our triple power battery with 3 kilowatt hour of capacity. And of course, this is what I haven't mentioned yet. You can always put more than one batteries together. For example, you can go up to 4 batteries and connect them together to make a bigger battery capacity and to fit the battery capacity to the customer's needs. Some customers, of course, want to have a bigger battery. Some of them don't need a big battery. And with our triple power batteries and also with our current battery models, you will always have the possibility to put 1, 2, 3, or 4 batteries together in one system. And as we see here in this picture, let's start on the top. Of course, the heart of the system, of any PV system, is always the inverter. To the inverter, we connect PV panels, then the batteries, and also do the AC connection. But the idea behind the Generation 4, of course, is creating all-in-one system, and therefore we designed our mate box. The mate box is a distribution box which already contains several components which normally are necessary when installing PV system. So the mate box can contain the DC switch of the inverter. We see it here on the outside, but also there's a DC switch, of course, in the inside. The mate box also contains several AC circuit breakers, and it can also contain the energy meter. The energy meter is necessary to have for battery storage systems, and the energy meter always measures the energy flow of the house. And because of due to the information of the energy meter, the inverter decides to charge the battery, to discharge the battery, or go in any other work mode. So the mate box makes it for installers very easy to install a PV system. And we also measured, for example, an experienced installer will be able to install this system like you can see it here. We have 2 batteries, 1 mate box and 1 inverter in less than 30 minutes. This is possible because everything is pre-configured inside the mate box. All the connectors are pre-configured. It's simply mounting the system on the wall, put all cables together, and this whole installation can be done in less than 30 minutes. And this is also a very big advantage of the system. And it also can be done by only 1 person because all the components, they are not very heavy and can be lifted definitely by 1 person. I already mentioned it many times that we had the idea of an all-in-one solution, but of course we know that not in every case it's possible to use the mate box because we all know every AC installation in any house can be totally different, and therefore sometimes the mate box does not really give an advantage. And for these systems we also have an option. So here we have an overview about a system installed with the mate box. You can see a diagram of all the components inside. and how they are put together to one system. Of course, we still need cabling to the main distribution box of the house to power the home loads. And of course, we need cabling to the normal AC grid connection, which still is necessary, although every hybrid inverter of SolaX already contains as a standard the EPS function, so that they can also work in off-grid situations in case of blackout, or even work permanently in off-grid mode. This is all possible. And for installations where the matebox cannot be installed, this is not a problem. You can install every SolaX hybrid inverter with every battery also in a traditional way without matebox. So we have two different versions of inverters. One inverter version is ready for the matebox. The other inverter version is a classical inverter versions where you put all the cabling directly to the inverter, and then you install the system in a let's say very traditional way with normal cabling to the home loads, to the AC grid. And in case you want to realize the backup function and make use of it, then you can also define some critical loads which always need to be served also in case of a blackout. So with the hybrid generation 4, you really get a very flexible system for every customer's needs and for every individual situation in the houses of your customers. We also have a short demonstration video. You can easily find it on YouTube, and this is a let's say real-time installation of one system of us with a timestamp, and then you can directly see that it's really like this. A system of SolaX can be installed in less than 30 minutes. So if you're interested in, you can just go on YouTube, where you will always find further information, and just type in SolaX hybrid generation 4, and you will find it very easily. Now I would like to go through some technical details, technical highlights of our system, where we think this makes, or this inverter, or these parameters of the inverter makes it to the most, let's say, powerful hybrid inverters in the market. Of course, we have a higher DC input than, let's say, normal PV inverters due to the high power PV panels. So our hybrid inverters can really work with nearly every PV panel which is on the market. Doesn't matter if it's a very high efficiency PV panel up to 500 or 600 watts. This doesn't really matter. You can always connect them all to SolaX inverters. We have a very nice oversizing function. Every SolaX hybrid inverter can be oversized by up to 150%. This means the inverter will be able to output 100% of the PV power to the house. And if there's still additional PV power, it can go up to 150% of oversizing. And this remaining 50% can go in parallel directly into the battery, for example. And then no more energy is wasted. And this is also a very, very nice function to gather the maximum of the PV systems. And of course, therefore, you need a fast charging and discharging rate. And with the SolaX triple power batteries, and also with the SolaX generation 4 inverters, you can charge and discharge the batteries with up to 30 ampere. And every SolaX battery has more than 100 volts, which means in practical, every additional SolaX battery gives you the opportunity to charge and discharge it, or the whole system, with 3 kilowatt. So it's very easy to remember. Every SolaX battery charging, discharging power 3 kilowatt. If you have two batteries, charging and discharging is 6 kilowatt. and so on. So you see, these are the fastest charging and discharging rates which you will find on the market. This gives you the advantage to provide high power rates to the house or to let's say commercial buildings without any problems. Another very interesting feature, especially for us in Europe, is the possibility to work in extremely cold conditions. So normal lithium iron batteries, they only can work, let's say, around 0 degrees, and then they will stop working. And also already before, the performance of these batteries is already lower than normal. But with this new Generation 4 battery, you will get the possibility to use it all with low temperatures, like -30 degrees, for example, without any performance loss. Of course, the efficiency will be lower because these batteries are temperature controlled. They have an internal, let's say, heating system. And of course, it affects the efficiency of the whole battery system. But you could definitely use this battery also in very strong winters. And due to the IP rating and protection class, these batteries are the first batteries which can easily be installed also in the outside, because every inverter, every battery from SolaX is tested in more than 10 or 15 different tests. We can all do these tests in our headquarter, in our R&D center, and therefore we guarantee also this high quality to our battery and to our inverter, which is absolutely necessary for us to guarantee this to our customers, because it doesn't really make sense to make a battery which is able to work in -degrees, but then has a poor, let's say, quality when it comes to very hard and critical environments. So therefore, all our inverters, batteries, and other products are really designed to stand really harsh environments. Okay, here are some highlights of this presentation. They just are there to summarize a little bit and to bring back in mind what we were talking today. I think one very interesting feature is, of course, our parallel function. I haven't mentioned yet. With our inverters, you will be able to use the parallel mode. This means you can connect up to 10 SolaX hybrid inverters together. Every inverter has own PV strings. Every inverter has own batteries. And then you can make a parallel system with more than, or with up to 10 inverters in parallel mode, for example, to create, let's say, bigger battery storage systems without any problems. And also this parallel mode can also be used in case of a blackout, when it is in emergency power supply situation. So this overall makes it a very powerful and strong package. Yes, and of course we have different working modes for every individual situation in every house. These working modes, they define different priorities. If you give priority to battery charging, or if you give priority to serving the home loads in the house, everything is possible. With our products, you can program different time periods for each working mode. So you are really, really flexible with SolaX Power hybrid inverters. Yeah, these are the available AC power classes. And as you can see, we can directly serve all different system sizes. Maybe just one more word to the X1 and X3 fit inverters. The retrofit inverters are basically the same inverters as the hybrid ones, but the only difference is that they don't have a PV input. The retrofit inverters are there. For example, if you have a customer who already has an older PV system with a normal PV inverter and now wants to upgrade it with a battery storage system, then he can use our retrofit inverters. He can still keep the normal PV inverter. It doesn't matter which manufacturer it is. It works with every manufacturer on the market. And then he can simply add a SolaX Power retrofit inverter to the system together with a battery. And then he has a normal PV inverter, which is converting the power, and a retrofit inverter, which is charging and discharging the battery in case of the energy is needed in the house. Okay, before I come to the end of this presentation, there are two more topics. One is some more details of our triple power battery. So here you get an overview about how it can be installed. Of course, you can only use one battery. If you're using one battery, you always need a BMS module. BMS is the battery management module. But then you can see that the batteries are stackable. And for example, if you're using more than 2 batteries, then you can make 2 batteries and stand them behind of each other. This is one way in how to install our battery system. And as you can see, they don't need much space in the house. So they are also very saving room in the house. Here's some basic overview about the technical specifications of this new battery. It contains about the battery pack and the BMS module. It has a nominal voltage of 100 volts, and with the 30 ampere of charging and discharging power, it means it's around 3 kilowatt. Every battery from SolaX Power has a warranty time of 10 years, and it is designed to do around 6,000 full life cycles, which is very a good amount. Before I come to the last topic of the EV chargers, I will just mention some of our accessories. Today, we don't really have the time to go through it in details, but what is important to know is that we have a monitoring system, which is called the SolaX Cloud. And to connect to the SolaX Cloud, you have the possibility to use different accessories. Of course, we have a Wi-Fi stick, we have a LAN stick. Energy meter is always needed in case of a battery system. Then we have additional devices like the EPS box, which makes an automatic switching between on-grid and off-grid situations. Today we are talking about the mate box. We have a parallel box if you want to parallel inverters. And for really big battery storage systems, if you need them, we also have a parallel box for batteries where you can connect up to 8 batteries to one inverter. And last but not least, one very interesting feature now and in the future, and one very interesting accessory, of course, is our new wall box. We currently have one before, but this is just a standard wall box, a standard EV charger, let's say without special or smart functions, which is already available. A very easy to install and very nice EV charger, but without smart functions. So therefore, we also developed a new EV charger, which we can really call a smart EV charger, because this EV charger is able to communicate with our hybrid generation 4 inverters and in accordance to the situation of the house and to the situation of the battery and PV power, the smart EV charger can be programmed and start charging the car or don't charge it, depending on the work modes or on the settings you or the end user has been done. And of course, everything can be controlled through our SolaX Cloud or also through our mobile phone app, which can also be easily found on Apple and Android devices. It's called SolaX Power. And with this mobile app, you really have a very good package combining inverters, hybrid inverters, or general storage systems together with our smart EV chargers. And therefore, we can really create a big product family, which is serving the, let's say, the needs of the next decade, where everything will be electrified, especially the traffic. Electric vehicles will come up more and more in the next years. So therefore, we are already prepared, we from SolaX, to always give necessary and good products to the market. Okay, before we come to an end, I would like to say thank you for the attention. And now it's time for some questions. We will take us the time to answer all of your questions. So please feel free to ask questions.
Thank you very much, Rudolf. That was excellent. So let's take a look at our questions. Going chronologically. So the first one is this is a good question towards you, Rudolf. Question from Mr. Robert. Sungrow just released some hybrid inverters with battery.
Yes.
What is your main advantage against them in terms of the new system you are launching?
Yeah, the main advantage is simply that we have more experience in the field of hybrid inverters and also in the development of batteries. I'm pretty sure that Sungrow will also be successful with their product. But in the end, they still need to prove it. We have the longer market experience with thousands of systems, working every day and giving us the proof. I'm not too deep into their technical specifications, but I will definitely check them in the near future, so that I have also a good impression, because this is definitely also important for us to know. Our main advantage is that we have an established system and are following this everything out of one hand structure since many years now.
Okay. We have a couple of more technical questions.
Yes.
The next one is the Gen 4 hybrid. Does it still require external EPS box or EPS switches integrated?
If you decide for the matebox or for an installation with the matebox, everything is already inside the matebox. So you don't need an external EPS box anymore, because the components of an external EPS box are already in the matebox.
Excellent. From the same gentleman, we have a similar question regarding Gen 4. Will it work with the triple power T58 battery?
Yes, the Generation 4 inverters will also work with the T58 battery. The same like Generation 3, So simple answer, it just, yes, it will work.
This is an interesting one from Mr. Rimantas. Does any hybrid inverter, ESS inverter, check local weather for optimization and self-consumption?
Yeah, we are planning to have this feature in the future. At the moment, we can only show the local weather. So this information is already in our SolaX cloud, but there's still no, let's say, smart charging program related to the weather or the weather in the next hours or in the weather of this specific day. So at the moment, there's no optimization regarding the weather.
Okay, understood. Then I assume from Hungary, we have Mr. Pintar. Approximately, okay, I'll answer the first one regarding pricing of the ESS Gen4. Mr. Pintar, right now, actually, we are onboarding this new solution. So once the pricing is ready, it will be available on our eShop, of course. Some products, the pricing is already on the eShop. Nonetheless, we're still in the process of preparing the pricing in general. Then we have from Mr. Pinter also two more technical questions regarding the new system. The ESS Gen4, is it able to put active and reactive load to grid? That's a good one. What do you think?
Yeah, that's a good question. And I would also include the next question, which is if the ESS Gen4 can manage a cosinus phi. Yes, with the ESS generation 4, you will be able to do settings for different requirements to the grid. You can activate, of course, reactive load. You can do settings for a fix cosinus phi, for example, and you can also activate a reactive power curve. You can also activate reactive power according to the voltage, depending on the requirements of the grid operator normally, or on the specification or special requirements of each country. With our inverters, doesn't matter if it's a hybrid inverter or normal PV inverter, you can always define different, let's say, work modes regarding reactive power.
Excellent. Mr. Obovi is asking if you can get a contact for Rudolf Shell. Of course, definitely, it will be provided. Then we have Mr. Kwan asking one question regarding the load to off-grid. When the grid is on, is the power there only during blackout?
Yes, the inverter has two different AC ports. One is the normal on-grid port, and one is the off-grid port. So in case of normal on-grid operation, the off-grid port stays off. Only in case of blackout, when the inverter realizes that there's no grid voltage anymore, then it directly switches to the off-grid port. And then is powering the off-grid port. And once you connect it to the off-grid port, the EPS solution like EPS box or the mate box, then it will power all connected devices through the off-grid port. And then it makes sure that no power can go back to the grid. Yeah, but in normal operation, the off-grid port is off.
All right. From Mr. Veselin from Bulgaria, we have a question about the maximum battery capacity. I guess it's depending on the setup we use, right, Rudolf? What is the maximum capacity of this new launching product now?
So in general, you can say if you are using X1 hybrid with our new battery, the 3 kWh battery, then you can connect 4 batteries together for X1 and X3 hybrid. So the maximum is 4 batteries. If you are choosing the T58 battery, then it is also 4 batteries for X3 hybrid systems and 3 batteries for X1 hybrid systems. But you can use our battery parallel box, which in the end doubles the amount of batteries.
All right. We have a question from the Czech Republic regarding the asymmetric options of SolaX. Generally speaking, I can say yes, SolaX is known in the Czech Republic for being able to provide asymmetric solutions. Would you like to add anything to that, Udo?
Asymmetric solutions, do you mean, for example, unbalanced?
Consumption loads, to accept asymmetric consumption loads.
I'm not sure if I get this question right.
It's from Mr. Petr from Czech Republic. Yeah, you can see.
Basically, our inverters can provide in off-grid mode or in off-grid let's start with this, in on-grid mode or a normal on-grid situation. Our inverters can provide power to any kind of loads, definitely without any problems. But in case of an off-grid situation, then the inverter can have some problems when the loads power, of course, are higher than the inverter output power. Of course, the inverter can, for 1 minute, can go up to 150% of AC output power without problem. But for example, if you have loads with a very high starting current, and the starting current is higher than the maximum output current of the inverter, then it can be a problem. So if you are designing an off-grid system or want to use specific devices also in off-grid mode, then you really need to check before the technical specifications of these loads, if they match with the specifications of the inverter for off-grid situations. But in on-grid situations, it's no problem to power any kind of load.
Thank you. And a very interesting question from Senegal for Mr. Barry. This is for me. It's regarding project pricing. Yes, Mr. Barry, and this is actually for everyone else. We are very open, myself and our whole business unit team, to discuss special pricing. It's no problem at all. You have my contact details. We will share my email with everybody. So please feel free to get in touch later. We can open discussion on concrete projects later down the road. Of course, for Senegal, we will be speaking to my colleague who is responsible for that region, since I'm responsible for European countries. But definitely, Mr. Barra, we are open to discussion. Thank you for that question. And one last question popping up from Mr. Kwan. Can the inverter, the new one, provide an unbalanced power supply? Which means that there's a different current on each phase.
Yeah, correct. So in normal mode, if you are using a 3-phase inverter, then every phase in the house is served equally with the same amount of power, but we can easily activate the unbalanced output power function. And then in this case, if this function is activated, the inverter provides only the amount of power to each phase how it is needed. So it's just one setting in the options, and then it can provide unbalanced output power.
Excellent. All right, well, we have one question from Mr. Victor. Do you have technical training available for installers? Definitely, Mr. Victor. we do provide training. We train approximately 3,000 professionals each year. So please feel free to drop me an email later when we finish today, and we can open discussion for your specific needs, of course. Okay, just checking if we have any more questions popping in. I do believe we managed to answer all of them. So if anybody has any remaining questions, please feel free to continue typing. We have one more new question. I assume this is from Bulgaria. Excellent. Is the new solution applicable to string inverters?
Yeah. So the question about the unbalanced output power function, at the moment, it's only available for hybrid inverters. Because hybrid inverters, have a mandatory requirement to use an energy meter so that the inverter knows what is going on each phase. If you are using normal string inverters, they also work without energy meter, and therefore they only provide equal power to the house on all phases.
So thank you, Mr. Ivailo. We still have a couple of minutes left, so if anybody has any more ideas, please feel free to type them in. We can wait for you. All right, we have a question for Hungary from Mr. Robert. Christoph, are you, Christoph, can you hear me? This one is for you, for your market. Certification for Hungarian market. I do believe it should be no problem since Hungary is quite an old market of ours. So, but definitely I will ask my colleague Christoph later.
Yeah,
and,
the question is about the certification for the Hungarian market. For our current products, yes, we have it, definitely. For the new Generation 4, I'm not sure if we already have it, but we will definitely have it. If we don't have it now, we will have it ready when the products come to the market, definitely.
Mr. Ivala from Bulgaria just has one more technical question regarding the previous one. If the string inverter would be equipped with a three-phase meter, what happens then? Is it?
Actually, I need to check it, but I can check it in parallel. So maybe we can keep this answer for 1 minute. I'm not sure if this option is already available for the normal three-phase inverters. Maybe is there another question which we can go on? Then I will shortly check in parallel about this feature, because I can get access to the SolaX cloud, like every other installers, for example, and go to the remote settings of an inverter, and basically can check or do any settings which can also be done directly at the inverter screen. So therefore I can give this answer to you in just 1 minute. Okay, I just check the remote settings of a three-phase inverter now, and just have a look if this option is available.
For sure. But while Rudolf is checking that, I just want to tell everyone that, of course, there is no problem to provide answers also later. And you will also get a summary of today's webinar, including a recording.
Okay, I just checked it. The unbalanced output function is not available for normal three-phase inverters. this option is not in the menu, which means this option is not available. Doesn't matter if it's with energy meter or without energy meter.
Mm-hmm. I have one question for you very quickly, Rudolf,
Yes.
regarding technical documentation. Will the languages be the same with all the other products you have? Do you know? The technical, like data sheets and so forth.
Yeah, at first we will always only have English data sheets and manuals, but we are also trying to serve every local language where we are selling our products.
Okay.
Actually, I'm not into these translations, so I at the moment I cannot really tell if the documentation is available in Hungarian language or Czech language. I think you should know this much better than me, but we definitely plan to have all local languages the translation for.
Sure. The same as the previous generation. Okay. Well, thank you very much. Our time has run out. So from my side, excellent webinar. Thank you very much for everybody who joined us today, for your attention, for your patience. And from our side, we wish you, first of all, lots of health. And let's get in touch later down the road. We're looking forward to do business with you.
Okay. Also, thank you very much from my side. And yeah, hope you see us again in the maybe next webinar.
Excellent. Take care, everyone. Have a nice day, and thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Thanks. Bye.